be a hip-hop tour coming around the country for this hip-hop museum. I mean, that's really about time. That's going to be my first story. Welcome to this week's B&Z World Report. I am your host, Angela Ray, where we will discuss global topics and events from around the world. Our first story comes to us from UrbanMecca.com, and it's a very timely story because the Hip Hop Museum and Pioneers Tour will team up on a national hip hop museum tour. Well, hip hop pioneers from all over the country will team up and go around the country in a conversation and dialogue with students and community members from across the country. It's all in time to unveil the new Hip Hop Museum and Entertainment Complex, which will open in Manhattan, New York. And of course, the official tour dates have not been announced, but I'm sure that you can stay tuned to UrbanMecca.com because those dates are supposed to be released in May. All right, our next story comes to us from the BBC.com, and of course, it is good news for Toyota as they saw an increase in their U.S. sales. The Japanese car maker saw its U.S. sales jump by over 40% last month compared to a year earlier. Now, this follows a slump that the car maker saw in February of 8.7% after customers had been shaken by the firm's mass safety recalls. Well, how are the other car makers doing? Well, Ford and General Motors saw their sales rise last month, both 39.8% and 20.6% respectively. Rounding out the big three is Chrysler, who saw their sales fall 8.3%. And right now, we're going to go to Team Brand News on the streets for this special report.
Roland Martin, political analyst for CNN, host and managing editor of Washington Watch on TV1. I'm also a senior analyst for the Tom Joyner Morning Show, syndicated columnist, book public. I got about 5 different jobs, so it's all good. I went to communications high school, so I've always wanted to do all different mediums. And so now being able to be online in newspaper, magazine, television, radio, you name it, everything is going great. And so it's really about being a multi-platform, multimedia journalist. I have always a problem when a student says, I want to be an anchor. When I tell them no, you need to say, I want to be a reporter. Because a reporter comes before being an anchor. The second thing is, you have to understand the medium, and you have to understand what it takes. And so if you don't have the ability to write, to tell a story, you're not going to succeed at all. But then the next thing, and I think this is vitally important, and that is understand what you're good at. There are some people, if they can put things together, if they can organize, if they have a very even temper, you don't necessarily be in front of the camera, be behind the camera. Although I am in front of the camera, I actually aspire to be behind the camera. That's where the actual power is. And so again, study the craft and study your strengths and weaknesses, and then decide whether you want to be in front of the camera, behind the camera, in front of the mic, behind the mic. You want to be a producer, voice producer, reporter, anchor. It used to be that if you were in television, you were in a small market. It was called a one-man band, where you would actually shoot the story, shoot your stand-up, frame it yourself, edit your own story. Then when you go to a larger market, you had individual folks doing jobs. Now what you're seeing, because of multimedia, you're now seeing more backpack journalists. At CNN right now, we have about 10 bureaus where we have people who are backpack journalists, where they actually do stuff multi-platform. They actually shoot and report for television. They write for CNN.com. They record audio for CNN Radio. And they do something for CNN International. And so that's where we're actually going. The beauty of learning all the facets is you understand what everybody's job is. And so if you are an anchor, and you actually shot video, and you edit video, or you're a reporter, you then understand when you go on the scene what you want, what to expect, and then what you want your camera person to also be doing as well. Hey folks, Roland Martin, and you're watching Brand News.
Thank you, Team Brand News, for that special report. All right, our final story This week's report comes to us from blackamericaweb.com. Magic Johnson wants to get people working. Well, if you're needing a job, you may not need hocus pocus, but a little magic might do. That is magic. Ervin Magic Johnson, he is trying to put people back to work who are either underemployed or unemployed. Now, he has a company called Magic Workforce Solutions. It's a 2.5-year-old firm that's goal is to get you a job. And to that end, they've enlisted the help of many Fortune 500 companies, but to be exact, the Fortune 50 companies. Now, Magic Workforce Solutions is a division of Magic Johnson Enterprises, a human resource company that provides Fortune 50 companies nationwide with employees. Now, if you need a job, you can visit the website at magicworkforcesolutions.com. And that's it for this week's B&Z World Report. For more news with less of our views, you can visit the website at brandnews.com. Make it a great week.